is the one that I like the most.
What do you like about this one?
I like that it looks like gray. Obviously, like she has natural gray, but it feels like intentional. Like my goal isn't to go all natural like salt and pepper. I want it to feel like a little bit softer and I don't know, like
still feel dark?
A little bit darker. Yeah, like I feel like my grays are really bright white. I also have more, like I haven't dyed it back here for a lot longer. I've been doing this more, but I've let it go more back here because I wanted to see what the color was.
What's the color history?
So I dye it myself for like the last probably 10 years with just box dye, like no ammonia box dye. And I usually just do the roots.
Okay. Have you ever done highlights? Okay, so the ends are just faded out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm nervous to go gray because I just don't want to look older, and I've always had dark hair that's been on the warm side, so I don't know what it'll be like to have a cooler.
So there's a few things. One is the roots of her look darker than your natural.
Okay.
So you're gonna have the maintenance of that. The second thing is she's lifted really light. It looks ashy, but with every wash, it fades out, gets warmer. So I would think in 2 washes, her hair is yellow and blonde.
Okay.
That's how it is for all these colors.
Okay.
And then the other thing is if your hair is able to get light enough too. Sometimes what some of my clients will do if they really are attached to having that depth in between and their roots are a little bit lighter, we'll do highlights like maybe every 4 or 5 months or so, and they'll just come in and we'll do a demi to blend it, and the demi kind of makes your white hairs look like highlights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not as like woven and dimensional as that at first. It starts to look like a version of this, but more translucent, like not fully covered on the gray.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of similar to how the ends have actually faded out.
Okay. And so will it be gray or will it be brown? Like I think
that depends on how light you get.
Okay.
But because with every wash it gets lighter, I always say go more gray because if you do a darker gray, it can fade to a brown before it fades blonde.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I know what I don't like. Like I feel like I'm just painting over it, and I don't want that. Like, so I always have 2 totally different.
Yeah, it's so harsh.
It's too harsh. Yeah. So I'm looking for like I'm not necessarily trying yet to get to the place where I don't have any upkeep. Like that's not my goal. Like I'm not trying to get this totally grown out where I just don't have to do anything. I am up for some like maintenance to make it look like prettier and softer, more intentional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's the only thing is if we do the demi and try to match it just because you have so much silver naturally that it won't be as harsh as this, but you're still gonna have the effect to where your roots grow in, it is lighter than the rest.
Yeah, okay. And that difference will just depend on how light you can get me today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the demi, we can do...
Like, I think that these are really pretty too. I feel like most of these are AI right now. I can't even tell if they're real.
It's just
but
the darker you go, essentially the more maintenance you will have.
Got it.
Because your roots are so white that when it grows in and soon, you're still gonna have the lighter root, of course.
Yeah.
But at least it won't be against something so dark as it grows out. So I would say most clients for the demi will go anywhere between like 6 to 10 weeks, depending.
Okay.
Most don't go past the 10 weeks. Otherwise, it really does just look like you grew out your roots.
Yeah, I doubt I could go that long.
Really blend.
Yeah, my hair grows really fast, so I was doing my roots every like 3 weeks. Like I'd have like this. The last time I dyed it was the week of Thanksgiving. Like it's really fast.
Yeah. So maybe we could hopefully get you somewhere where you could do the 6. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to going blonde. Like
But it's okay if we go slowly too, because it might take you time to even get used to it.
Yeah.
And then the maintenance, most people get sick of it, and then they're just like, let's just go blonde.
Oh, okay.
That's usually the case.
Really?
Yeah, for majority of the people that are attached to the depth at first, and then they start to see the highlights and they get used to it lighter, because whatever toner we put on, it technically lasts 6 to 8 weeks, but with lighter toners like that, you really see the blonde peeking through in about a wash or 2.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's that light. So I always say we could tone it a little bit darker to make it last a little bit longer. But just keep that in mind, the toner fades so fast with these colors, because it's such a difference from something so ashy to what you're lifted to.
Yeah, got it.
If we were to tone you to be warm, there's not much difference, so you don't notice it as much. But the ash, you really see the difference, because the warmth peeks through and it just kind of overpowers the ash tone before it fully fades out.
Okay.
Okay, are we doing a haircut too?
Yes,
How much are we cutting?
I like it staying long. Okay. So whatever you think I need to do to get it like healthy again.
Anything bugging you?
Just the like dryness at the ends. I like having these that kind of fall out when I pull it back. So I think these I need to have trimmed up a little bit.
Do you like the amount of pieces that you have of those front that fall out?
I think so.
Do you want it to be blended at all? Because they're disconnected right now.
Maybe a little bit more blended.
Okay. And then in the back, with your texture, I really wouldn't layer it.
Yeah.
We can just do like face framing layers, because I really don't want to lose the density back here.
Yeah. It starts to feel thin.
Yeah. So I would say let's just bring it up a little bit, clean up the ends. And then if you want to feel like nothing too heavy around the face, I would just layer this part.
Okay, yeah.
And by bringing it up, I would say we could do like to here to like make it look healthy.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a new client who wants to do some sort of gray blending. She wants to kind of get away from covering her roots at home and just gradually work towards something that is going to grow out softer. She has some previous box dye from At Home Color, but you can see the box dye actually lightened up a lot on her mids and ends. She said she never has done highlights before, and part of the reason why that might have happened is because she does have a lot of silver naturally, and sometimes when you cover silver hair with permanent color and the permanent color isn't super strong, then it can fade out and look like a highlight like this over time. But what that's gonna tell me is that this permanent color that is on her hair isn't super harsh, I would say, to the point where it's going to be more stubborn to the lift. So I'm going to start by lightening her, doing my signature placement in the back. I'm using the Danger Jones powder lightener, and I did a weave around the nape, and then I did a diagonal back slice right above that weave. And now I'm going to go in and do my signature mohawk. And in this signature mohawk, we are going to utilize slices to just get a good amount of impact. Now she does have quite a bit of silver on the top part of her head up above in the crown area, and in the back here she doesn't have a ton. I would say there's a good amount of pepper, so I am going to space these pieces out, foils out a little bit further apart. I would say they're probably like 1/2 inch apart, and if she were to be maybe a little bit more silver, I might have spaced them a little bit closer together to get rid of that dark color, but she is pretty dimensional back here, so I'm giving a little bit, leaving some little bit of depth, and then I will be spacing those foils a little bit closer together as I get closer towards the top. But because her mids and ends are primarily dark and the roots are more silver, I am going to have to go in with a demi in between her foils. A demi in between the foils is essentially going to be low lighting the root with a darker color. Now it's not as similar like a permanent color to where it fully covers. The way that I explain it to my clients is that it sheerly covers the gray. So I'll be putting that in after we put in the foils, but right now for her money piece, I want something that is going to be a little bit lighter but still soft. So I ended up weaving some weaves back to back, and then I'm gonna go in and continue my slicing pattern. Now whenever I like not been making the front a little bit lighter, I feel like a lot of people have been gearing away towards something that is like super chunky, super bold for the money piece. So for me to make a very soft but lighter money piece, I've just been doing weaves back to back to kind of create that look, and then continue my slicing pattern. And as I'm adding in these slices, I'm spacing the slices pretty close together and then spacing them out a little bit further apart as I reach the back of the mohawk. So now I'm going to do the side money piece, and I weaved that. I want you guys to pay attention to this part here as I weave the side money. In the corner of her hairline, I am intentionally trying to grab some of those hairs so that the top of the mohawk, the end of the corners there, do connect with these side foils. I try my best to not leave any gaps, and let's say the foil didn't meet and there was a gap around the hairline, I will put an extra foil to prevent any dark spots around the hairline. So when you're doing these hairline foils around the entire whole head, from this back part to the front side money piece, I want to make sure that every foil and weave that I do that details the hairline connects to the next foil. And that's key because whenever they put their hair up, they will see if there are any gaps or dark spots that were left behind. So after I've done that weave above the ear that is going to pretty much just tie and connect the front and the back hairline, I am going to utilize slices again up this side section. And the side section is basically the part of the front that's connecting to part of the back where the mohawk was in the back. And the ends of these foils, I want to make sure that they do meet each other and everything has connection from corner to corner and everything just kind of flows. So now we've put in the demi. For her demi, I used the Danger Jones gloss toners. We did a 5-0 with their 5 volume gloss toner developer, and now I'm going in and doing some tip outs. For her tip outs, I'm just using the Danger Jones powder lightener with 20 volume. I'm teasing, weaving, over directing towards the front of the face, making sure that this is going to look extremely blendy and just super natural, so that when this grows out, the ends blend and look lighter. So when her hair lifted to about a level 9, that's when we started pulling her foils. She didn't want something that was going to be too gray. She wanted more of like a neutral ash tone. So we don't want to lift her too light. And also I forgot to mention that her hair texture, I don't know if you guys can tell from these clips, is a bit on the finer side. So I do want to make sure that we don't over compromise her hair at all. So lifting to a level 9 is actually perfect for her hair and hair texture, considering her color history and the goal that she's going for. So I'm pretty much rinsing, holding those ends because I don't want that demi that I put on the root to darken the highlights that we've already put in her hair. And then now we're going to go in with her toner formulation. So for her toner formulation, I'm going to start off with a root shadow. Her root shadow is a Danger Jones gloss toner, so I'm using the 5-1. This is a level 5 ash, and it kind of looks like a very dark medium gray for the mids and ends. So we are going to be using 6-0, 6-01, and 9-12. And this is going to create more of like a mushroomy tone rather than a full-on gray tone to give it a more neutral look, but still keeping it on the ashy side. And we apply it onto the mid and then brush it out.
Whoa.
How's it feel?
It's crazy. It's so light.
Do you like the color?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'm glad we went a little darker now that I'm blow drying it, because yeah, the other color flip would have faded so fast.
Oh my gosh.
And now you guys enjoy this one, and as it gets lighter, it'll get like the photo.
Yeah.
But it looks so good.
It's so
and
crazy.
Like the roots, Your roots look really good.
They do.
Like your grays are there, but now the demi has surely covered them, so they're not completely covered.
It's so different.
Yeah. And the great thing too, because as it gets lighter, then that's when your roots grow in, and your roots are lighter.
Yeah.
That's how it'll blend nicer too.
Yes, really. It's gonna take me a minute to get used to, but it's really pretty. I have never had hair this light before. It's really pretty.
Thank you.
Like it looks gray, but not like old person gray, you know? I cannot get over it. I really like it.
Beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Wow. And the blend looks great.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like,
Yay!
I love it.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Alrighty guys, so here is the finished look. We absolutely loved it. I feel like it is the perfect like neutral mushroom but ashy brown tone. Now since we did do the demi against her silver white, she will have a little bit of maintenance on that, but by then the highlights will also lighten up and give her a much softer grow than what she came in with. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.